when you talk about the fastest, most electrifying running backs in NFL history. One name bolts to the top: Chris Johnson, aka CJ2K. For a brief, blistering stretch, Johnson wasn't just good, he was untouchable. In his prime, he made 300-pound linemen look like they were running in quicksand and turned ordinary handoffs into highlight reels. His breakout 2009 season, where he rushed for a jaw-dropping 2,006 yards, cemented his place in the record books and earned him a nickname that became synonymous with speed and dominance. With one of the greatest seasons ever by a running back, the question on everyone's lips is just how great was Chris Johnson? Chris Johnson's journey to NFL stardom began in the heart of Orlando, Florida, where he was born on September 23, 1985. Raised in a tight-knit community, Johnson grew up surrounded by strong family values and a competitive spirit. From a young age, he displayed exceptional athleticism and an unrelenting drive to be great. At Olympia High School, he first turned heads with his blazing speed, not just on the football field, but also on the track, where he ran a scorching 10.38 in the 100 meters, one of the fastest times in the country at the time. On the gridiron, Johnson started to build his legend. Though he wasn't initially considered a top-tier recruit due to concerns about his size, his performance told a different story. As a senior, he exploded for over 1,200 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns, showcasing his ability to change a game in an instant. Despite being overlooked by major college programs, Johnson's confidence never wavered.
Hand off to Johnson. See ya. Johnson's a blur!
Despite Johnson's lightning-fast speed and strong senior season at Olympia High School, major Division I programs were hesitant to take a chance on him. Scouts questioned his size and durability, often overlooking the raw explosiveness he brought to the field. It wasn't until East Carolina University extended an offer that Johnson found his opportunity. ECU saw what others missed, and as soon as he got the opportunity, Johnson committed to the Pirates, eager to prove the doubters wrong. Though he lacked the hype of a five-star recruit, Johnson carried a chip on his shoulder and the work ethic to match. His recruitment story wasn't about the glamour you'd expect from most top recruits, but that underdog mindset would become a defining trait throughout his college career. Chris Johnson's college career at East Carolina University was a steady climb from under-the-radar recruit to college football sensation. As a true freshman in 2004, Johnson made an immediate impact on the team after showing the Pirates that he deserved to be a starter. In just his third collegiate game, he returned a kickoff 100 yards for a touchdown against Louisville, putting the nation on notice. He finished that year with over 1,600 all-purpose yards, showcasing his versatility as a runner, receiver, and return man.
Watch out! He's got getting away from the top!
His sophomore season saw continued growth, particularly in a standout game against Southern Mississippi, where he rushed for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns, helping the Pirates secure a pivotal conference win. Though injuries would slightly limit his junior year, Johnson's senior season in 2007 was his true breakout moment. He exploded for 2,960 all-purpose yards, which was a school and conference record at the time, and he did it with 24 total touchdowns. His most memorable performance came in the 2007 Hawaii Bowl, where Johnson torched Boise State with 408 all-purpose yards, including 223 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. He was named the game's MVP, and his performance helped propel ECU to a thrilling 41-38 victory. That game not only capped a historic college career, but also catapulted Johnson into first-round NFL draft conversations. He finished his time at East Carolina as the school's all-time leader in all-purpose yards and kickoff return yards. Chris Johnson's NFL combined performance in 2008 was nothing short of legendary. Heading into Indianapolis, he was already viewed as an explosive playmaker, but what he did there changed everything. Johnson blazed through the 40-yard dash in a jaw-dropping 4.24 seconds, setting a new combine record that stood for nearly a decade. Instantly, scouts and analysts reevaluated his draft stock, and what was once considered a late second or third round pick suddenly vaulted into first round consideration. Beyond his speed, Johnson also impressed with his agility drills and fluid movement, showing he was more than just a track star in pads. On draft night, the Tennessee Titans made it official, selecting him 24th overall in the first round. Critics who once questioned his size and durability now had to reckon with his generational speed and game-breaking potential. The Combine was Johnson's launching pad, and from that moment on, the NFL would never be able to catch up. Chris Johnson wasted no time proving he belonged in the NFL. In his professional debut on September 7, 2008, the rookie running back exploded onto the scene in a season-opening win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, racking up 93 rushing yards on just 15 carries and adding 34 receiving yards and a touchdown. Just a week later, he turned heads again, this time against the Cincinnati Bengals, breaking off a 51-yard run and finishing the day with 109 rushing yards on 19 carries. Then came his first career touchdown, scored on September 28th against the Minnesota Vikings. He wrapped up that game with 2 total scores and 75 all-purpose yards, flashing his signature burst and vision. But it was Week 7 against the Kansas City Chiefs that truly sent shockwaves through the league. Johnson torched the defense for 68 yards and a touchdown on only 18 carries, cementing his status as a rising star. By season's end, Johnson had piled up 1,228 rushing yards, 43 receptions, and 10 total touchdowns in just 15 games. He led all rookies in rushing yards per game and earned a trip to the 2009 Pro Bowl, finishing second in AP Rookie of the Year voting, just behind quarterback Matt Ryan. It was clear that the CJ2K era had officially begun. He started the 2009 season with a modest game with 57 yards against the Steelers in Week 1, but he exploded in Week 2 against the Texans, racking up 197 rushing yards, 87 receiving yards, and 3 total touchdowns in a jaw-dropping all-purpose performance. He kept stacking big games, including a monstrous 228-yard, 2-touchdown outing against Jacksonville, and followed that with 135 and then 132 yards in back-to-back games each with 2 rushing touchdowns. Against the Bills, he added 100 receiving yards to his total, becoming the first player in history to record 3 straight games with 125-plus rushing yards and 85-plus receiving yards. And he didn't slow down. Johnson closed the season on an 11-game streak of 100-plus rushing yards, bulldozing defenses week after week. His consistency and explosiveness were unmatched, capped it off with 2,006 rushing yards, joining the exclusive 2,000-yard club, and shattered Marshall Faulk's total yardage record with 2,509 yards from scrimmage. He was named NFL Offensive Player of the Year, selected to his second Pro Bowl, and officially became CJ2K. After reaching those heights in 2009, it was a downward spiral for CJ2K as he struggled to reach the heights he was known for. This led to underwhelming performances in 2011 and 2012, where he struggled throughout the season under offensive coordinator Chris Palmer. Even though CJ2K wanted things to get back to the way they were in the past, he just couldn't crack it, and the 2013 season saw him rushing for 1,077 yards on 279 carries with 6 touchdowns in 16 games. With that disappointing season, Johnson left the Titans for the Jets with the hopes that a fresh start would be all he needed to find that spark, but he ended the 2014 season with 153 carries for a career-low 663 yards and 1 touchdown. With those numbers, he found himself being a free agent, but it didn't last long before he was snatched up by the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals' decision to take on CJ2K started out great, as he looked like he had all he needed to turn back the clock. In his first 8 games, he racked up 676 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, reminding fans of his explosive Tennessee days. Johnson had standout performances, including a 110-yard game against the Ravens and a 122-yard outing versus the Jets. showcasing his trademark burst and vision. Despite sharing the backfield, he quickly became Arizona's lead back and helped power the team to a strong 6-2 start. However, it all came crashing down when Johnson suffered a fractured tibia during the Week 12 matchup against the San Francisco 49ers. He eventually finished the 2015 regular season with 196 carries for 814 yards and 3 touchdowns, along with being named a Pro Bowl alternate. Burdened by his injury status and the Cardinals signing David Johnson as the star running back, CJ2K saw less game time until he eventually retired in 2017. How good was CJ2K actually? When asked to quantify how good Chris Johnson was, it all depends on how you look at his NFL career. His rare combination of speed, vision, and durability made him a nightmare for defenses and a dream for fans. His 2,006-yard season remains one of the greatest single-year performances in NFL history, and his record-breaking 2,509 yards from scrimmage may never be topped. Even though his career didn't sustain that MVP level pace forever, Johnson still achieved what most NFL players could only dream of, and he was fun to watch during his peak. What do you guys think about CJ2K's 2009 season? Was it worth burning out the rest of his career? Be sure to like, subscribe, and tune in for our next video. Peace out!